I'm your host, Marlon Big Fav Favorite. Today's guest just signed with the Tigers, baby. Yeah, he a part of that Tiger family just like me. Ashton Stamps. Well, we know him as Midget. We've been training Midget at Conquer Sports Pros since he was in, the 8th grade, 7th grade. Then he started working with my big homie, Robby Green over at DPT. Now, he's taking his talents to the next level. He's in the LSU Tiger family, baby. So let's hear from my man Midget. Big dog, big as a gorilla. Proud of you, man. Let's go.
Ashton Stamps, Archbishop Rummel High School, class of 2023. Just recently signed with LSU, and I'm here with Conquer Sports.
We live here on Conquer Sports TV. I'm with the homie Ashton Stamps. New LSU signee, that's right, DB, right out of Rummel High School in New Orleans. We call him Midget in the hood, baby. Midget, man, welcome to the show.
Appreciate it.
So, for our viewers out there who may know you from being one of the top corners at Rummel and just being a great student, an activist, an active person in the community, tell us about yourself personally. Tell us about, for the folks, everybody know who Ashton Stamps is.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about Midget.
Well, I'll say this. I'm a quiet person. I'm humble. I'm not the type of person, to have all that type of rah-rah and stuff like that. I'm just calm, and that's what I do. I do what I do.
Now, so that's kind of along the lines of your personality. What are some of the things you like to do when you're not at football practice, when you're just chilling? What's some of the things you like to get into?
Right, so my dad's a pastor. Not too many people know that. So he's a pastor, so I play the drums for his church, and I play the drums for another church after that. And sometimes I play the piano because, I'm talented in different ways. So doing football is not the only thing I do.
Okay, so it sounds like Midget gonna do my beats for me one of these days, man. In the world of NIL, why not? So that's cool. And I knew that from knowing you, right? Just seeing you grow up, and I didn't know about the keyboard thing. You got me with that one. That's what got me to saying let's do the beats. But as far as football goes, we'll transition to that for a second. A little bit about the beginning. You were with us at Conquer Sports, still is, obviously, with us at Conquer Sports. But we felt that, and your coaching staff over at Rummel felt like defense would be better for you.
Right.
And I remember having that conversation with your dad and moving you to DB. But before we get to that, coming up, like right now, standing up in this interview earlier when we first walked in, I remember when you were like 5'5", pushing it, man. And you were this athlete that, in my opinion, like this kid's definitely gonna make his mark in sports, but I don't know where. And then you just sprung up. So I guess take us back to the early days with Conquer Sports, working with Coach Skylar Green.
Right.
How was that for you? And we'll get into transition into DB.
Right, I feel like it helped a lot, having Coach Scholar and you in the corner, because y'all played that type of ball. Y'all played on that high level. So learning from y'all, that really helped me. And going to, transitioning into a cornerback, I just feel like, being able to be able to have, ball skills and stuff, knowing what the receivers could do, that kind of, helped me switch easier.
Yeah, and the switch piece. You switched over to DB. I remember talking with you in the off season, and we felt it would be best for you to start training with DTP. Dynamic
DPT?
DPT, yeah. Sorry, Robbie. Shout out to my little bro, Robbie. DPT. And being able to be a DB. Now, working with Robby Green, Robby has worked with guys in the NFL, played at Alabama with Nick Saban, won championships. Talk to us about that experience with working with Coach Robby Green.
Right, so Coach Robby, he took a lot of time with me. Like when I first got there, I couldn't do simple things like back pedal, open. I couldn't do none of that because I was so used to going forward. So that transition, I feel like he helped me a lot because when he took that time with me, I just slowly and slowly became better at it, and he gave me the confidence to be able to do that, and I thank him for that.
We're at your junior year. This is your first full season playing DB. And having aspirations to play on the Division I level, working with Coach Robby Green, being consistent with your training. We always talk to you about that at Concord. You were very consistent with Coach Scott at the wide receiver position with us. When you first started off that season, how did you think you would do? Did you think, I know you mentioned earlier transitioning from wide receiver to DB, you knew kind of some of the routes, so that was some of the tidbits for you, but for the first few games, how was it adjusting to the new position?
Well, let's start back at the scrimmage. So for the scrimmage, I was at the cornerback position. So I went into the season like confident, like I'm like that. So then my coach, I'm like that. And then my coach, he pulled me to the side. He was like, "We running low on safeties. I'm gonna need you to play safety." So I was still a little confident because I'm saying like DB, that's the same thing. So the first game, I was back there and I was like, I wasn't comfortable at all because I was training for, cornerback because that's what coach told me from the get-go. So when I did that, it was kind of hard for me to play safety. So that whole year, it was kind of like shaky. But I still had a decent year, but it was shaky.
What was y'all's record that year, your junior year? Y'all ended up...
4-5, actually. Well, we were 5-4, I think.
Y'all won state your sophomore year.
My freshman year.
Your freshman year, y'all won state. And then y'all didn't have so much of a hot record, but you felt yourself getting better at safety.
Right.
And that's one thing about Ashton I can speak on personally. Even when he played wide receiver, a couple times you played running back, for Pee Wee ball with the Panthers. And I think about when you first transitioned to a high school wide receiver, and having to play slide and having to do it all on that side of the ball, when you got to that junior year, you showed off that versatility.
Right.
And that's what I like about your game. Going to LSU for you, you were basically looked at as a cornerback, but you're a guy that can do multiple things on that side. So I knew you would transition. So we're at the senior year. Now, in your junior year, did you do a lot of special teams? I know I caught a couple of y'all's games. You did.
I did it, return, punt return, kick return.
And then your senior, you take off with it. I know you had the return in the playoff game against John Eric. You took it to the house, and you were asked to take on that role.
Right.
I trained with Pac-Man Jones, a couple of guys that, and even on the other side, wide receivers like Deshaun Jackson. Was his teammate in the Eagles, so he was dependent on not only to be a wide receiver, but to do that in the return game. Going to LSU, being able to be versatile, being able to play corner, play safety now, and participate in special teams. What are some achievable goals with you for that?
I feel like once I get to LSU, I want to be able to play special teams. Well, start special teams. That's one goal. I want to be able to start on the defense, and that's really it.
That's good achievable goals. Now, as far as academics, right? You're going to school for what? What's your going to be your focal point in terms of your academics?
I'm gonna study business. I'm a major in business, marketing, branding, marketing.
I like that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna help me market. I got my gorilla gear here, man. You're gonna help me market that. So I'm gonna depend on some of that LSU education for that. So we're at your senior year. You're rolling. Before that senior year started, you went to a series of camps. You had a couple of offers on the table. A few teams were looking at you. Now, I knew the hat was out the bag for me personally. I knew LSU was somewhere you wanted to be. But you're a businessman first. You wanted to make sure everything was right. Talk to us about that senior year, that summer going into that senior year, competing at the LSU camps and everything that led to the offer.
Right. So I would say this: everybody's experience is different. So I talked to Robby, and I talked to you too. And when I talked to Robby, he was like, "We got to go into this summer like nothing, all or nothing. So that's my mindset. So I'm going to these camps. That's all I'm thinking about. What he said, all or nothing, all or nothing. So I go into these camps and I dominate. So let's go back to LSU camp. When I went to LSU camp, my first day, I didn't have too good of a good camp, but the coaches still seen like what I had. So when I went to Alabama, I went there and I just shut down Alabama camp too. And I expected to do that, so I kept my head down and I didn't really, boast and brag. And we was letting them know, like, Bama, they about to pull it off if y'all don't pull it. So, I mean, if y'all don't give me the offer. So when I went back, LSU asked me to come back. So I went back and I did what I had to do. And then a couple of days later, I went back for another camp. And I didn't really do too much in that camp because, I guess they were just planning on to offer me. So when Coach Kelly called me to the side, that day, that's the day he had offered me, and it felt good.
That's big time, man. I reminisce some time about when Coach Saban came down to West Jeff, and I remember Coach Hank calling me at my lunch period man, Fav, I got somebody who will see you, and he offered me my junior year, and that was a blessing. So to experience that in this new world of NCAA football, I know it means a lot. I mean, LSU's a top five team, Power 5 team in our conference, and you look at the way this team attracts big-time players like you and other guys across the country. If you're just tuning in to Conquer Sports Television, you're listening to us. You're joined by myself and Ashton Stamps, DB at LSU, baby. Them Tigers handling this business, baby, out of West Bank side of things, but play ball and Metairie at Rummel. Y'all make sure y'all follow Ashton at Ashton_Stamps_3 on Twitter. Might want to check out his TikTok too, man. That's a little entertainment. We'll get to that a little later in the show. I want to transition to the commitment. I remember being at you guys' house. A lot of family friends. Robby was there. We had a couple of your classmates, your teammates, aunties, and families. The food was good that day too. By the way. Shout out to
always good
to First Lady and Pastor Stamps for hooking up that good food that day. We enjoyed it, but just leading up to that moment, like you know, this is what you want to do. You didn't want to go into the season with that on your mind. What was that moment like for you?
Well, for me, it was a good moment for me because that's something I've been dreaming of since I was like 6 years old. That's when I started playing football. So there's a lot of people that have that, dream. And they had people that day sitting there just like, wow, I wish that, I'm so proud of him and I wish that was me. So I'm grateful in the sense of that because God, it was because of God. And I'm grateful for it.
That's big time, amen. Through God, all things are possible. And just knowing you as a little kid, I mean, that's how it is growing up here in Louisiana, particularly in New Orleans and the Baton Rouge area. Like, man, what if LSU off? What if I get that opportunity? And a lot of guys, they just want the opportunity to see. Sometimes they take a visit. They may visit another school, whether it's Virginia Tech or whether it's Arizona State or what. I know we had a couple guys here with Conquer go different places. Donald Bernard, he's at Navy. We have Adonis Furlow, he's at Tulane. A couple of other players are across the way. And that path is just so different for you guys. Before we take our break on the show, I want to talk to you about the recruiting process. Yet again, I know you made your decision to go to LSU, but this is two different recruiting deals, man. When we were coming up, it was mainly about a coach mailing you. Your coach had to put together this DVD or this, not even DVDs. It was VHSs, man, tape with all your stuff on it, and you got hit. If you gonna hit 10 different schools, that's 10 different. So a lot of times recruiting was word of mouth. In this era, you guys have Huddle. I know we have our Conquer channel with recruiting for our kids. You guys have so many different ways you can contact coaches, the social media. So just getting your opinion, I know how it was in high school for me. Do you feel like that made recruiting a little more difficult for you in making a decision, or did it feel easier to get your stuff out there and your skill set to be seen by many?
Well, for me, I felt like it's easier to be able to, because that's all life is right now, is on the phone and stuff. So I felt like it made my recruitment easier in a way. in a sense. But that could really, it could be hard. It made other people become hard because, that transfer portal is crazy.
Yes, indeed it is.
It's harder for high schoolers, to get any type of offer right now.
And that's true. We deal with that a lot with Concord. In your class, we have about 18 kids. I know you training with Robby and them. That helped us out a lot for you. And then, obviously, you balling out. We didn't have to do as much for you. But for the high school kids, and we have to look at it from this perspective, these coaches, a lot of them have to win right now. Now, for Coach Kelly, he has a long contract. Coach Kelly has a 10-year contract with LSU. You're coming in on year 2 with 9 left to go on that one contract. So you can build your team, you can recruit. But for a lot of coaches, they're on the hot seat, and they have to win now, and the transfer portal allows them to do that. So that is the disadvantage for high school students. So, like you said, you got this thing started. What grade were you when you got your first offer? Was that going into your junior year?
Actually, I think it was going into my junior year. I got it I wasn't competing in the LSU camp. I was there with my brother, and I got the Nichols offer off of my high school coach, Coach Graham. He's at De La Salle now.
That's correct. Shouts out to Coach Graham. Coach, my son Kentrell last year. So you went to the Nichols State camp. So Nichols State, and I want to say Tulane followed that. You had a couple more major offers before LSU came around. So that process, to the point, started off going into your junior year. So that just goes to show you how this process, some parts are traditional. That's why I got most of my main offers. But it's just so much complex with the transfer portal. So that's good insight, man. I want to hear from, because I've talked to our guys, but you're just recent early commit to LSU. You signed early signing here in December. So I'm like, man, I wonder how this is for him. Y'all don't go anywhere. Y'all on Concord Sports TV. I'm here with Ashton Stamps. That's right, man. Christian Stamps' brother. Man, the Stamps family, that's my people. He said he's going to put his stamp down at LSU. Y'all don't go nowhere, baby. Y'all here. Are you a student athlete looking to take your career to the next level? Look no further than Concord Sports Pros. That's right, Concord Sports Pros. Our team of experts will get you guys on the right path to your student athlete journey in life. That's right, we have every position in football you need, and we also help out with other sports. At Concord Sports Pros, you have everything from a list of consultation, training, and also media training. Yeah, that's right, when you take your career to the next level, play college and hopefully pro, you'll get lots of interviews. Call Concord Sports Pros today. You can reach them at 504-319-6672 or visit marlonfavorite.com for more information. Hello, somebody. What's up, beautiful people? It's the host of Inside the Trenches, Marlon Big Favorite, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Superior Benefit Solution. That's right, Superior Benefit Solution. At Superior Benefit Solution, Justin Manali and the team at Superior Benefit Solution will do the right job at getting you the insurance that you deserve and need. Their insurance policies range from accident coverage, life insurance, both whole life and term insurance. For more questions about Superior Benefit Solutions, contact Justin Manali at 504-307-8905. Again, that phone number is 504-307-8905. Superior Benefit Solution, the home for your insurance policies. Hello, somebody. Hello, somebody. It's the host of Inside the Trenches, Marlon Big Favorite. And if you have a dirty vehicle, I don't care if it's a small car or SUV, make your way over to Crown Car Wash. Crown Car Wash on the West Bank, baby. 1336 Stump to be exact. I mean, you want to get with the winning team, right? The winning team is at Crown Car Wash. Crown Car Wash. Get it clean with the winning team, baby. Hello, somebody. Welcome back to Concord Sports Television. I'm here with my main man, Ashton Stamps. New signee to the LSU Tigers, baby. Welcome to the family, Ashton. Man, I hope you get a couple of these bling-blings, you know what I'm talking about. The way y'all rolling, y'all will. So you signed with LSU. you're getting ready to head out there in June. You're gonna take summer courses, I'm assuming. Take 3-4 classes maximum.
Probably 3 during the season.
No, not during the season.
Oh, like summer, yeah.
2 or 3,
Yeah, something like that.
You gotta get your feet wet, man. Before you gotta get warmed up before you get into that season. You know, once you get the season, you want about 12, 15 hours here and there, probably 15. Yeah. So just to prepare for that, what are some things you expect going to LSU? We talked about some of the things on the field. You mentioned you want to contribute on special teams and possibly start. You mentioned not saying next year or the year after or whenever, they may need to depend on you to get a lot of playing time on defense. We talked about those achievable goals. What are some of the things you look forward to about the culture of LSU? I know you went to a couple of games. What are some of the things you're looking forward to being on campus?
Well, I know this. I'm looking forward. Let's stay in the football aspect. I'm looking forward to, the practices. So everybody that's there, they got a scholarship just like me. So that means they just as good as me or even better. So every single practice is going to be a competition. You're going to have to work every single day, and that's what I look forward to.
I like that right there. Straight shot. He's like, campus cool. I know. They got some attractions on the campus, but I'm focused on that field.
Right.
And that's the mindset you really want to have going there, because these are going to be business years. I know you said you wanted to major in business, the School of Business when you get there. Well, that's 2 majors you're going to have, because that's business there. You have to maintain. So I think you'll do well competing. And if you look at LSU historically, I know in my time there I enjoyed watching the one-on-ones with the receivers and the DBs. Recently, some of the famous battles, Jamar Chase and Derek Stingley in practice. So, I know you and my son Cantrell had your little battles in the crocodile, rolling with that. We'll segue into a little fun, man. You slid the keyboard thing in on me. I didn't really know that. How long you been playing the keyboard?
I say about 3 years.
3 years?
Going into 3 years. It haven't been that long.
So you're pretty good with any songs in particular, familiar songs you can play?
Yeah. I know a couple of songs, maybe like 2 or 3 songs. I just kind of picked it up on my own.
So you taught yourself?
I taught myself.
That's tight. So, man, that's a gift. And coming from a guy when I was at LSU, I was committed to football, but in the off season I did all my recording. Right, I took piano lessons there. Got not so much a good grade. I didn't do too well. Shout out, forgot her name. Shouts out to my keyboard teacher at LSU, my piano teacher at LSU, for the hard work.
Right.
But music is something I love. Was able to drop a full length album and a couple mixtapes. In the world of NIL, I know you're focused on football, but when the times is due, and coach does allow guys to have NIL, do you see yourself messing with music and like maybe playing at a local church out there when you're not, or playing the drums there, or even what we used to do? We actually used to go to the School of Music building, and we recorded a song. Was good. Me, Fat, and Che with some of the musicians there, and we did the live version of it. So do you see yourself maybe having music as a minor and approaching it that way as well?
Well, most definitely. I'm not going to take any type of talent God gave me for granted. I'm going to use everything God gave me.
That's big time, bro. Man, I like that. I love that. You see these kids when they're young, man, you watch them grow up, and it's fresh. You just, signed to LSU, so I'm excited for them. Big things coming for you at LSU. So, and I've watched you play the drums. I thought you did an excellent job at your dad's church with the drums. So that's good, man. I think you should continue to expound on those things. And at the same time, for me, that was medicine for football. I earned my starting job recording my first full-length album at LSU. So, back then, it was a little different. They didn't really have NIL. I had to appear courtesy of Black Venom, and so I didn't violate any NCAA rules. So I'm actually, I admire you to be able to take advantage of that opportunity.
Right.
Before we wrap up here on the show, I want to play a little game with you.
You got it.
Since we're on the music tip. It's traditional. This is something that is completed. 100% of the football players at LSU, pre-game, they all have their Beats by Dre headsets on, or whatever you choose, your Apple Pod, and they got the Apple playlist rolling on their phone, and they're listening to their jams.
Right.
So we're gonna play a game of who you listening to before the game.
Well, to be real, I'm different. So I always try to be different in different ways. So I listen to church music. That's the first thing I put on is church music. As soon as I hop on the bus, church music. When I'm sleeping, meditating, I'm listening to church music. So when it's time to, get hyped for the game on the way on the bus, getting off the bus, I listen to Young Boy.
Young Boy. See, I was gonna ask that. So is Young Boy and who else makes it to the top 3 playlists? So you similar to me, like the calm before, like we doing pregame meal. I got a little Kurt Franklin on, right? But then you gotta get turned when you get in the locker room. So Young Boy's Young Boy is the guy. Like he's the Lil Wayne of this generation. I can't lie. For us, if you would have asked us that question, we saying Lil Wayne, no doubt. Who's second on that list?
It's kind of hard.
It's tough. So it's a lot of top and a lot of top gospel is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like the combination.
Gotta balance it out, though.
Gotta balance it out. So Tom, you want his iPod list. I mean, for us, we would mix it up like it was weird. I don't say weird. It was different. Like we had a lot of New Orleans guys on our team. So when we listened to like the Donnie McCurtains and the Kurt Franklins and the Fred Hammonds, we also made sure we jammed a lot of like Lil Wayne, that whole little era of music. We'll bump a little 400 Degrees. That was a throwback for us in college.
Right, old school music.
Bounce music. Shouts out to like Big Chew. We used to listen to a lot of Big Chew bounce music before the deal. I'll throw a little shouts out to my homeboys, Baby Boy and Chopper. We'll throw them in there. But you gotta, like, I remember classic game at LSU, true story. We were playing against Auburn. It was 2006. And Wayne had just dropped Dedication 2. So it was hot. It had to have been like 100 degrees out in Auburn. And I remember those dudes were bent over, tired, sweating in between the whistles. And we over there, you know that our rival. We running all that mixtape stuff, bro. We just running it. And for them, it was exhausting because these dudes not getting tired. But that just goes to show you how hyped those mixtapes are. Well, man, Midget, thank you so much for coming. Can't call him Midget no more. You're taller than me now. Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Y'all make sure y'all check Midget out. We'll have his all his highlights and all that on our Conquer Sports page. You already have some, so y'all go to the Conquer Sports YouTube page. Check out more on Midget. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets for LSU football for the next couple years. This young man gonna play in some classic games. He's gonna do super well. Y'all make sure y'all follow him on Twitter. Stamps _ Ashton 3. Y'all make sure y'all check my boy out, Midget. Before you go, brother, anything you want to talk to the people about?
Just watch out. I'm coming. Just watch out. I'm coming.
I like it, man. Well, thank you for coming on Conquer TV.
Appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the Tiger family. Go Tigers, baby. Hello, somebody. It's your boy Marlon, Big Fav Favorite, and Inside the Trenches podcast is back, baby. We back. Y'all make sure y'all check us out for excellent season, and you can check us out on NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Y'all make sure y'all follow me at Big Fav 504. We back at it, baby. We in them trenches.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.